If you don't invest any effort in your own profile, you are wasting your fucking time. That's the best advice I can give you. Hi everyone, it's TorontoUnicorn. I am back and feeling good, so I've decided to make a video that has been screaming at me to make, because every time I go to like an Oasis event lately, there's new people on it that are just so happy that they found this community, and they're asking all these like great questions like, how do I get more involved? How do I find other people? And so I decided, like, let's take the mystique out of swinging. Where do the swingers swing? You know, I am a swinger. I joined the swinger lifestyle only like 3 years ago. So 35-ish, 34, 35 was when I started my experiences with women, my experiences with couples, my experiences with sex clubs. All of it started at 35. When I went into that sex club for the first time, it was because, this is a different story, but I ended up walking in alone, single female, sober, because I had literally waited and waited for a male partner to kind of come and like want to explore this lifestyle together as a couple. And I had the couple side of it a little bit, tried to get unicorns, wasn't very successful. And so, you know, I ended up walking in there as a unicorn on unicorn night, and I've never looked back on this decision. It was literally the biggest jump outside my comfort zone, and I've never regretted it for a second, because it led to so much positivity, joy, a renewed sense of passion, a renewed sense of excitement about like making friends and sex and all these things, because it's just so out in the open. So that's my kind of introduction. But how do you be a swinger? You want to join the swinger community? Have you done a couple Google searches? So a lot of people send me DMs from like blank list profiles on Twitter or whatever, saying, oh, I'd love to have a threesome with you. Here's my phone number. The only way I'm going to be helpful to anybody who wants to be part of a swinger community is to understand the landscape of the people and the politics and things like that. So unicorns specifically are called unicorns because they're so mythically rare, because the chances of you finding a single female that also wants to fuck both the male and the female, and everybody likes each other and everybody finds time, and like, do you know how rare that is? Like, I'm a unicorn, I'm the one that's rare, and I've only had 5 couples so far, because it is rare to find chemistry all around. Sometimes you want the woman but you don't want the guy, and you know, you don't want to participate in a sexual act with someone who you're not enthusiastic about. It's not fair to them, it's not fair to you. So the chances, even just statistically, are low, right? Let alone getting a unicorn to talk to you, because unicorns are bombarded with like interest from every angle, right? So here's my advice to people who are looking to enter the lifestyle. First of all, you're not going to get anywhere without a good profile and good photos of both male, female if you're a couple, or good photos of yourself if you're a solo, on a site that's dedicated to swinging communities. That is where these fish swim. If you want to be in the pond with the swingers, then you need to put your bait in the pond where the swingers fish. I'm doing a terrible job with this analogy. But anyways, one of the biggest pieces of advice I could be is, don't assume a unicorn has any reason to be interested in you. She has so many opportunities that any couple that comes out of unicorn that makes it difficult to even assess attraction. And what I mean by that is, if they don't have profile photos, if they don't have pictures of the male, like how many couples have pictures of just the gorgeous wife? You are never going to get a unicorn with 50% of the information. So what I would recommend is to not waste anyone's time. Put the information up front, put the photos up front, say what you want. Are you bisexual as the female? Are you not? Put it up front what you want, because you don't want to match with just a single female. That single female has her own goals, her own limits, her own boundaries, and you know, you've just got, everybody's got to work within. So one of the biggest pieces of advice that could be is join a swinging community online, because you know what? You're safe behind your computer, right? There's really no big, you know, chance you're taking by this. But you know what? Some people don't want to put their faces, right, on a swinging community. I understand. I'm very open. I'm very out as a swinger. I'm disheartened when I see people hide it, but I understand it. So some people can do a good job of showing. Basically what we're saying is we want to see if that person's attractive. So you can still blur people's identities without not putting a face picture up. So you could blur just the eyes so that we can see if they have normal teeth, if they have a nice mouth, because then we can basically deduce that the person's attractive. So if you don't even give us that much, if you give us no face pics, you're wasting our time and you're wasting yours. Because I don't know personally of any situation where I would be excited to give a couple like my phone number or my geek or any form of communication so that I could get their photos. No, make it easy on me. Don't expect me to want to do any work to get these photos because I don't have attraction yet. So why would I do any work when I'm bombarded in this marketplace, right? So that's what I'm trying to educate people on when you join the lifestyle is no, especially with unicorns, you know what? Get your elevator pitch down. You know what I'm saying? Make a decision with your partner of what you're comfortable with and go full forward and pursue it heavily. But do not sit and expect a unicorn to fall into your lap. It is you believe in fairy tales if that is your goal on how to get a threesome. So couple swap is different. There's much more equalness in rarity, opportunity, right? So there is where things are 50-50. Like for example, a unicorn, you do not want to expect a unicorn to pay for the hotel, not even for the room service. You are going to want to treat that unicorn like a cherished special guest because that's what's going to keep that unicorn excited and keep you coming back, right? So, yeah, so couples are different. There's much more equalness, equal playing field. If there is a hotel, they usually split it. If there's a distance to drive, like Kingston to Toronto, they'll usually meet in like Port Hope, like somewhere in the middle, and just get a hotel and they split it. So that's a little bit different for couples. Single males in their lifestyle are called bulls or like a few other things. I can't speak for them, but I know that from talking to some of them that their number one complaint in the lifestyle is feeling like just like a piece of sex meat or a dick. I don't know. Maybe some people just want to be known for their dick, but there's other guys in the lifestyle that like to join couples and things that have actually told me that it was really disheartening when they were treated kind of just like a physical like sex toy for them instead of like a human with feelings. So it is what it is. But if you want to get started and find the swinging community, there's a few sites that I'm going to recommend, and I'm definitely going to put this information in the description. One of the first websites is Fleed, F-E-E-L-D. It's an app that you download that's essentially like Tinder, except it's meant for swinging. So if you are a single, you have a single profile, but you could match with couples or singles, whichever. And if you're a couple, then you have a male profile, and then you link it below to the female profile so that when that person's matching with you, they see your profile and your photos, and then they get to click on your partners and see your partner's profile, which is a solo profile, but they're linked. So that's the kind of thing where you match with people and you talk, and then you can unmatch people, right? The next one is Cafe Desire. You know, from an IT world, it is the most atrocious like level of technology advancement, but the website's been around for many, many years. It's one of the most known places for swingers to go, where they have like everybody has a profile. So you can have a couple's profile that lists like both his stats, her stats, what are you looking for, what are your limits, like things like that. Put photos up, and then you can have photos that you put in special albums that are called reds, the red album, and no one sees those photos unless you hand them a key, like in the virtual world. So you could put face pictures there because no one's ever going to see them unless you've already been talking to that couple, you've already, excited to talk to them, and then you might want to share it with them. I don't think anyone's ever going to meet anyone without a face pic. So just whether or not it's up front on in your main profile, or it's something that you're going to offer without any obligation or effort on the recipient. So what do I mean by that? Do not ask the person to have to give you their contact information so that you can send a photo when that photo should have been here all along. To be honest, what that feels like is a trap to get into my DMs. That feels like a trap because, oh my gosh, then you send me a photo and I have to literally react in real time about whether I want to fuck you or not. And sometimes that's really awkward if the answer is no. So I don't want to even be put in that position of risk of being in an awkward position like that, which is another reason why I don't give out my key or contact information to get the luxuriousness of someone's photos when I've clearly made my photos available to them. So Cafe Desire, it is one of those places where there's also like a forum where people talk about things, like if there's events coming up, if there's a sex party coming up, or like a hotel takeover, they'll list it, people can see who's going, people may even carpool, I don't know, but it's a wonderful place of networking within the community. And then there's a few other sites that I'd recommend as well. FetLife is a kink site, it's not for the faint of heart. And Oasis Aqua Lounge. So there's a virtual Oasis Aqua Lounge that was created after the pandemic started, and it is where you meet people in the lifestyle on camera events. So I don't normally take my clothes off at these events. I normally barely show a nipple, if any. Some people have sex on camera. It is like everybody does their own thing. But I show up in normal clothes sometimes, and like sometimes I wear cute outfits and socialize with people. Like sometimes we watch porn bloopers as like a group, and then we laugh about them together. Like it's truth or dare, like we play games like that and like talk about fantasies, and like it's just so fun. And it's like every night of the week there's this group of people that are going to be on cam who give a shit about you being there and participating. So that's been a huge plus in my life for this pandemic. And when the world opens up again, the number one sex club I've ever been to, I've only been to 2, but there's many on my list, is Oasis Aqua Lounge in downtown Toronto. Because it is a spa and a sex club. There's like an outdoor pool, there's a huge outdoor lounge, there's a smoking pot area, there's all these different floors with all these different rooms where people have sex in it that you can go watch. You can even participate. There's orgy rooms where you can usually just kind of crawl in, and if people are welcoming, you can just join in. So there's a lot of things to do at these clubs, and for me, I didn't have a lot of sex there, even though a lot of people do. I'm a demisexual. I don't actually like make connections with people all that often, and so I wait until I do, right? But I'm a voyeur, so I would go there on DTF night, which is gangbang night for women, and I would be like front row watching this girl get gangbanged, and there's like a list, there's like a posted thing, because it was an organized gangbang, and it said no anal, something like she had rules of the gangbang, and every guy like consented. There were some guys that had wristbands. Yeah, so people go there to fulfill fantasies, you know what I'm saying? It's a wonderful place. So that's what I would say. That's where the swingers go. That's where the swinger community hangs out. There's a few symbols of being a swinger. So there's upside down pineapples. Yeah, and then there's something like a black ring that some people wear. There's also sex club resorts, like there's hedonism in Jamaica. Like there's a lot of places where people go to be part of the lifestyle and an active physical in-person part. So not just the online one. So yeah, so that's my advice on how to be a swinger and swing where the swingers swing. So I'm a bisexual unicorn. I've actually approached unicorns myself as a couple, and I know how hard it is to get their attention. Sometimes they're rude because they don't have to be like, they don't have to give you a lot of their energy because they don't have a lot to give. They don't have a lot of people to talk to. But if somebody, here's the most important information. If somebody lists in their profile what they value in terms of like, I want to make a connection before we have sex, I would say, make sure you don't go into their DMs talking about what their pussy looks like. You know what I'm saying? Gear your approach to the person. A lot of people in this lifestyle are shy about who they have sex with. Just because they're swingers doesn't mean they're like have sex with a lot of people. Even if they want to, sometimes you just need that physical connection. So it's more about being open to having these sexual experiences versus actually having a ton of them, frankly. I should know. I'm a unicorn. I've only had 5 couples. I'm excited for the world to open again, and I'll have a few more. But yeah, until then, just do your best to put your best foot forward. If you don't invest any effort in your own profile, you are wasting your fucking time. That's the best advice I can give you. If you don't put photos up, if you don't fill out your profile, every box that asks you to put words in it, you are wasting your time and mine. Because anybody in this lifestyle that I have talked to is looking for people to be detailed and invested in their own experience. If you have half a shitty profile up, we know that you're unlikely to show up. So even if we did invest effort in you, your profile reads flaky and unsure. And that is usually a bright red flag for any single swinger who has experience, because those people usually bail on you. And swingers don't even like to swing with people who are beginners, because they bail on you. They just like fail, yeah. I don't think I would even be the first girl for a couple again. I actually make a point of asking about experience first, because I don't want to be in any situation that's like not just fun and sexy and good times, you know? So that's my advice. I hope this video helps people. Feel free to leave any comments below about any kind of topics that you'd like me to talk about. I am an open book. Feel free to leave it. Don't forget to subscribe and like my videos, because that is what keeps me motivated to keep creating the content. You know, be affectionate with your likes and comments, and I will be affectionate with my time and videos.